Good evening and welcome to the Glens Falls Board of Public Safety meeting. It's 4 p.m. on Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. I'd like to call the meeting to order. First, we open it up to the meeting up to public comment. If there's anybody from the community that'd like to address the Common Council, they're welcome to come and speak to us. So I actually ask them to come right here and tell us their name and address. I don't see anybody here. Peter, will you let us know if there's somebody online that hops up and would like to provide public comment?
Sure will.
All right. So since there's nobody here and nobody online at this moment, the first thing we have is a resolution to approve the minutes of the November 13th, 2024 meeting of the Glens Falls Board of Public Safety. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or corrections for the minutes?
I move approval.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next is a resolution to approve the 2025 Glens Falls Senior Center's annual disc golf tournament to be held on May 10th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Crandall Park. I want to make that adjustment on your minutes. Sorry, there's been so it was a wrong time. So it's 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Crandall Park. The event organizers expect up to 100 participants, and contracted food truck vendor will be on site as well. Any questions, comments about the event? Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. 5 is a resolution to approve the fourth annual Kiwanis Club Brooks Barbecue Chicken Dinner fundraiser. Say that 5 times fast.
Right.
Fundraiser is to be held on May 3rd, 2025 from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. at the Eastfield parking lot as it was in 2024. Most of the cars will enter the parking lot, purchase dinner, and exit via cones and volunteers directing the traffic. Also, the Kiwanis are planning on erecting a tent at the facility and have been presented with the city tent application that will be handled by the Greater Glens or by the Glens Falls Fire Department. The event organizers sold over 700 individual dinners in 2024. Any questions? Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.
I will tell you how delicious it is.
It is. All right. Well, thank you. I'm going to ask Bernie to put that right on my calendar, and I won't miss it.
Get your tickets early.
All right.
It's
Oh,
my
it's
favorite.
so good.
Fantastic. I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me. 6 is a resolution to approve a new event. It's the Glens Falls Weight House Walk Against Child Abuse to be held on April 30th, 2025 from 12:30 to 2 p.m. This would be a conditional approval as the supplied certificate of insurance is out of date. The organizer has been contacted to supply an updated certificate and a safety plan, map, route, and description. And the map may have been have been provided. The walkers will stay on the sidewalks wherever possible, with volunteers manning the crosswalks and corners as attached. And I think the certificate of COI that they have, it's just that their annual policy expires and needs to be renewed in between now and then, not necessarily that they had an out-to-date policy. Yeah. It just right after they renew their annual policy, we'll get a copy of it. Okay? Any questions about the event?
I move approval.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. 7, is there any new business? We don't have any listed. Any new business the commission would like to bring up? Old business. Follow up on request to AGFTC for pedestrian and vehicle safety guidelines. Chip, I'm not sure where that comes from. Did we have a request? And did we make it to Adirondack Glens Falls Transportation Council?
Yeah, we were talking about the Jackson Heights study is 10 years old, and Aaron Frankenfeld has brought that back out to look at it again. And the new request we've been talking about recently from Councilman Landry and the board is about the Webster Avenue Bay Street.
Oh, okay,
So I wrote him a request to do that in your name.
okay. So, well, we don't have an update to review, do we? Or do we have one update?
No, just that
Okay.
they're working on.
So those will stay on old business for us until they're done with it.
I just wanted to update that we did make the request and they accepted it.
Great. And then, so I don't think we have a resolution, right? Okay. And then B, the new request per the councilman, I'm sorry, I'm reading. I'm now catching up with myself. Any questions about that old business? We just don't have, Pat, you have an update
I
for
was
us?
just gonna provide the board an update,
Let me have you step over here in front of the camera, because we love your smiling face of the public.
So the Adirondack Glens Falls Transportation Council Planning Committee met today and approved the moving forward with the Bay Road study to review where would be the best place for children to safely cross between, I think it's Webster Avenue and Bay Road, right?
Yeah. Or not Webster, but Webster and Lexington. So
And Lexington,
where best
excuse
to
me,
put
that's
it
correct.
on Bay Road?
So, and then, was there another piece to that? I apologize. Because they approved some other, my office sent in a grant request for a number of other updates
Yeah,
for
Jackson
pedestrian, right, updates, as well as a review of the Jackson Heights, pedestrian circulation, Abraham Wing pedestrian circulation, and Big Cross pedestrian circulation. So
Fantastic.
those have all been moved forward by AGFTC.
Okay,
In a
Fantastic.
meeting at like 1 o'clock this
Yeah,
afternoon.
very good.
Which is why Chip doesn't have it on the.
Fresh business,
Yes.
or fresh news.
So.
Any questions for?
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
That's great.
Good, okay, very good.
thank you.
Next up, Chief Smith's report. Chief?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I don't have anything new, no new business and no old business.
No old business.
It was a good month,
Good,
unless you have any questions about the report.
yeah.
I'll just let you know that Chief Smith and I and Darlene, our social worker, are working and addressing the folks that have been in our parks. We're going to start to form a bit of a, I don't know if the right word is task force, but a group of people of wide range backgrounds, from human services to business leaders to even a few politicians we might let in the door, and not-for-profits or faith-based groups that they might help us engage those in the park in the future. So we'll give you an update as we know more.
I can see that from reading the arrest reports that the police department has been working on this.
Yes.
Diligently.
I'd like to thank Chief Smith and the police force too for finally, my neighbors at 45 Lone Street have been evicted.
Good.
I know it was a very complicated procedure to do that, but the neighborhood has changed tremendously since were taken out. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to accept Chief's report?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Opposed.
opposed? Thank you. I'm Bill. There we go. Thank you. Chief, Deputy Chief Modar, how are you, sir?
Good, good.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank the board for a great 2024 year, being helpful with the approval of hiring 7 new firefighters, bringing the department back to full staff once again. Also, I appreciate the appointing of the lieutenant for the fire prevention office due to the retirement of Lieutenant Pagano. That office, since the appointment, has been very busy with learning the ropes, picking up the new policies that the city has had in play for a couple of years, standards that the New York State has put upon the municipalities as well, and implementing those. There's still a lot of work to be done, but this is just one step going forward that we needed, and we're going to continue to do so. So I appreciate that help in getting that done for us. We also appointed a temporary lieutenant, so he's in office, and we have full staff as far as officers go. Whenever the engine goes out, there's an officer who's always going to be there for their crew and on scene for them and keep them safe. With that being said, Merry Christmas to everyone. Make sure you have a safe and healthy, happy New Year that is coming up. We won't see you again, hopefully, until the new year. And I know the firemen appreciate, and they're taking a hefty, deep side now that the fire department is fully staffed. They don't have all the overtime that they used to. And now some of these guys and girls can go home and actually appreciate Christmas and the holidays that they haven't had to work overtime the past couple of years. So thank you very much, and see you on the other year.
For sure. I'd like to
Nothing new to report.
add to Chief's report also that last night the Common Council approved $185,000 out of ARPA money to get an additional ambulance for the fire department. So
That's wonderful news.
Well done.
That's all good.
Well done.
great. Yes.
I'd like to say that due to some health problems in my household, we have had the services of the fire department ambulance people evacuate my wife. And each time I've been just astonished at how professional and kind they were.
Thank you.
It's our
That's
motto.
awesome.
Yeah, they are.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I
I
can
know they appreciate it.
speak from personal,
I can also, I
Personal.
told them that.
Same.
Yeah.
amazing, amazing job.
Professionalism. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Grateful to have
Thank you,
them.
Chief.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chief.
I move acceptance of the report.
Yes, do we have a motion to accept? We do, and we have a
Second.
second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. To return also, just because I didn't think of it when Chief Smith was standing up here, ARPA money was used to buy 2 new detective vehicles as well
Oh.
in last month since you met last. So
Good.
it's the
Wonderful.
last of the ARPA money being spent, and I'll have a summary report for everybody and the public about what topic, an awful lot of it went to water and sewer infrastructure, our parks, and our police and our fire departments, our DPW. It was a great once in a lifetime. Hopefully we don't ever have another pandemic. We need an American Rescue Plan Act, but that money allowed us to get through the pandemic and afterwards, and invest in infrastructure that we had needed for a long time, but had not been able to afford. And so we are awful appreciative of the council and their diligent oversight of the expenditures going out the door, and make sure that it was all used correctly. We've got just a few $1,000s left of $12 million ARPA money, and that money will go to paying for the audit that we have to pay an auditor to then audit all the expenses that are made. And so other than that, it is all allocated and ready to go, or being.
Radar trailers. too.
Speed radar, oh, I thank you.
Hold it up over
Chip,
here.
Chipley gave me a
So,
sign.
sorry, look at that.
What's it say?
I know that we've spoken about, in public safety, about one of the real concerns is that we know as Glens Falls gets busier and busier, that our locals know how to cut through Glens Falls the quickest ways. And that speeding through those side streets, I think is my opinion, and I don't want to, for somebody looking to prove me wrong, they might certainly, so this is not a vetted statement by my communications department. I believe one of the biggest threats we have to public safety on our streets is people cutting through those side streets and maybe being in a hurry to get from Glen Street to Quaker Road, right? And or other streets. And so a large expense. What was the total? Do you remember off the top?
277 and change. $277,000.
$277,000 on a variety of different. Wait, yeah, thank
It was
you.
cheaper, it was 67, I think.
67 for a small trailer that has a camera and a speed detector on the same thing, so that we could take videos of somebody speeding down the street and then possibly issue tickets, and if not, issue warnings, and we're working on that. So we got that, and 277,000 was additional cameras that we could use out on our watershed, and then use at different locations on intersections that might be a problem intersection, that would put it up temporarily at the intersection, maybe find out that somebody's running a red light. We don't know if we could actually issue them a ticket from that yet, but at least we could send them a thing saying, this is your car going through this red light, and we know it was you, and we need you to slow down or speak to your son or daughter about slowing down. So it's these are great investments that we would not normally be able to afford, that we were able to afford. Also cameras in that 277, or cameras, more cameras for our parks, more cameras for City Hall, that one camera more for City Hall, and then for our city park as well. So all of that together, those expenses have finally gone out the door, and we'll get those cameras in and up and working, and I'm sure you'll be able to hear about how we're keeping our streets safer.
Good.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you.
All good news.
It is all good news. I think that's it. I don't believe we need to go into executive session, chiefs, either? No? So, unless somebody else here thinks we need to go into executive session, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank